Hello everyone and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Matt. I hope you're doing well. If you watched my last video, you would have seen that I moved. And I am really excited about the move, about having this apartment. It's really cute. And I'm also excited to share with you my decorating journey and just making this place my own. And I already started doing that. If you watched that apartment tour, you would have heard me talk about this bedroom, which I honestly was not a fan of because it was very cold and white. However, as you may notice, I did already cozy it up a little bit. And I did that by adding natural materials, plants, and lighting. And I also have some exciting updates in the main living space, so that's what we're gonna be going through today. I hope that sounds fun to you. Grab yourself a nice cup of coffee, get comfortable, get cozy, and let's hang out together. The main thing that was bothering me in this bedroom was just the lack of proper nightstands. They had these like floating nightstands that come with this IKEA bed, and honestly, they were just not good. So I went to IKEA with a friend of mine, which was such a fun time, and I bought myself two cute little nightstands. These are wooden veneer, the legs are fully wood, and I really like them. And I like how they add some warmth, softness, and just natural material to this space. In general, I'm not a fan of all white furniture or rooms. I feel like they are very clinical and I just cannot feel comfortable in them. So adding just a couple of pieces that have natural materials in them really elevates any type of space, especially this kind of like white, boring box type of room. And also having functional nightstands with storage is a big plus. And of course, when you have a cute little nightstand, you can put a cute little lamp on it, which is exactly what I did. This is again from IKEA. Most of my furniture is from IKEA. I like IKEA. I think they have some really great pieces like this cutie little lamp. I also put a Philips Hue light bulb in here, which allows me to change the color temperature and the intensity of the light, which I find is very important in order to create a cozy, cute ambience. I also put this rattan room divider over here, which serves absolutely no purpose other than, again, to add just that touch of natural material. I really like rattan because it is very affordable, but it looks really nice. I had this in my old space, kind of behind my desk, and it was a really nice just visual break, and I feel like it adds some warmth to this otherwise awkward corner. I thought about maybe putting like a plant in this corner, which might still happen, but as of right now, I do really like this rattan situation, and I can still open the balcony door, which is great. Now, something I do want to still change in this room are these curtains. They have some sheer curtains, which I don't mind. Love me some basic sheer curtains, but I really want to change out these blackout curtains because they are velvet and they're blue. So I feel like they don't really go with my vibe, and I find velvet curtains to look a little bit cheap. So I'm gonna probably change them out for some maybe like darker green ones. I think those would fit my personal vibe a lot better. And of course, this would not be a Cozy Plant Co. bedroom without some plants. And I put my Aglaonema Silver Bay in this corner because I think she looks stunning. This is probably one of my all-time favorite plants, and the reason why I love this plant so much is because it is ridiculously easy. It is so adaptable. It can literally live in any sort of condition. It does not mind you neglecting it, not watering it. It is just such a hardy plant, but it looks stunning. stunning. And even though I pay no attention to this plant, it keeps on growing, keeps on putting out these beautiful, gorgeous leaves. And I absolutely love this plant. Now, the spot that it's in right now actually gets a lot more light than it did back in my studio. So I actually expect that this plant will do a lot better in this spot, and I'm just really happy to have this plant. And honestly, if you're looking for like a good, hardy, low maintenance, can tolerate darker corners type of plant, definitely check out the Aglaonema Silver Bay. You will not be disappointed. And then on this side of the bed, I have a cute little rattan hamper. I really needed a hamper because there wasn't anywhere to put like my dirty laundry over here. And again, from IKEA, and I really like this one because again, it's rattan and it's actually pretty big, and it has like 2 compartments, so I can store like different types of laundry in here. And then over here I have another little planty corner with my Ficus benjamina, which I love, and another little Aglaonema. This is my Aglaonema cutlass. And honestly, both of these plants, super easy, rewarding plants. I will say the benjamina is a little bit more finicky, and she tends to drop a lot of her leaves, and she does need obviously a lot more light because this is a ficus, it is a tree. So I do have a Growgang Pianta light bulb on this plant. It's currently off just for filming purposes, but that light is plenty bright, so I do think that this plant will actually be really happy in this spot. And like I mentioned in my apartment tour, this room is actually south-facing, so it gets really bright when it's a sunny day. Unfortunately, it's cloudy right now, but we got some really delicious sun. I did capture some clips in the morning, and it was stunning. There you can see the grow light, and I do have a tiny little piece of art. I will probably put something a little bit more bigger and substantial on that wall, but I do need to buy some new art because these walls are pretty tall and big, and I don't have a lot of big art. And then a final little touch that I did to this room as of right now is just hang these fairy lights along the headboard, and I do really like them, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep them. Like, to me, fairy lights are cute, but they do kind of give a teen vibe or like a Tumblr vibe, but also like, who cares? If I like them, I like them. But yeah, I definitely think that the bedroom is coming along nicely and it's looking a lot better. I think there's a lot more character already, and there are still a couple of things that I want to do to this bedroom. Mainly, I want to add maybe a couple more plants. I would really like to have something on this wall, something like tall and skinny, maybe something like a Dracaena marginata. I would really like something just sculptural, skinny and tall. That would be ideal. I have been also thinking about maybe getting like a marble queen or a golden pothos and kind of like training it to go alongside this headboard. I think that would look really stunning. And on top of that, I do want to add some more art. I definitely want some bigger art pieces, and I'm thinking about maybe like installing some kind of big tapestry above the bed. I think that would look really great. But again, big tapestries are quite pricey, so I don't know if that's gonna happen, but kind of in my mind, I feel like that would be a really good addition because it would add just some softness and color to this room. A lot of you guys also suggested for me to get rugs, which I love. I love me a rug. However, for this room, I don't think a rug would work because it's very small and cramped. Like, there's this big bed, the big wardrobe, like all the furniture is kind of in the middle. And I feel like if I were to install a rug that would fit this room, you would basically not even be able to see it. Like, only a little bit would be peeking out from under the bed. And if I were to get like a bigger rug, I wouldn't be able to open the door. So unfortunately, I don't think a rug would work in this room, which really sucks because I love a rug, but I don't know, I might install like some kind of runner or something. But that's why I think a tapestry would really work well in this room because it would add that textural kind of fabric-y element that I do think is missing. But overall, I think the bedroom is looking a lot better. Let me know what you think of the bedroom thus far, and if you have any suggestions, I am always open to hearing about your thoughts and ideas. You always have just the best ideas, and I really, really appreciate them. And also, I just want to say a quick little thank you for all the love you showed me in that apartment tour. You're the best, and I'm so excited that I get to take you along with me on this fun journey. We're gonna move on now to the main living space, which I filled with just a lot of my own stuff that I already had, like my Kallax unit, some of my art. I brought some more plants with me, and honestly, I am loving this space. In particular, my Vitsho plant display. I mean, I always loved having this thing. Just having a wall of plants brings me so much joy, but for some reason, they just look extra delectable in this space. I love my plants. I love them in this space. I think they will be extremely happy in here. Even though this is a north-facing room, there's still a lot of light on a sunny day. And I obviously do have Barrina grow lights on all of these shelves. They're off right now because of filming, but usually this shelf is really, really bright. And I just absolutely love the way that it looks. I still have to install a couple of Barrinas on the ceiling so that the plants up here also can get some light, but I need somebody to help me with that because somebody needs to like direct me so I can align them properly. But I am really just loving the way this shelf looks, the plant on it, the art that I added. It just looks divine. I always wanted one of those flip clocks. I think they look so cute, but like the name brand ones are quite expensive, like somewhere in the €100 range, which is a bit too much for me. However, I found this little cutie on Zara Home and I just had to have it. And honestly, I even like this version more than the original. I just love the red color. Of course, y'all know I'm obsessed with red, but then also these like two pastelli, the blue and the green. I think it just works and it looks lovely and I love it. And I don't know, just having it here on this shelf, on display, it just brings me joy. And I feel like it really works with my color scheme. I mean, especially the red. There's even a red frame over here. So I have just been really loving it. Also, another cute thing I want to show you. Now, I did burn this already, but I got these like really cute candles that are in the shape of fruits. So this was or is like a lemon and you can burn it and it has a really nice, I think this is a lemon loaf flavor. But yeah, these are so cute and like handmade, hand crafted, whatever. I have another one. Let me grab it real quickly. Well, I have this one, which is like a little fig. I haven't burnt that one yet, so you can see it's like just a cutie little fruit. And I don't know if I'm gonna burn it, maybe for like a special occasion. I burnt this one when I had some friends over because they're just too adorable to actually use. I put a lot of my small art on my Vitsho shelf, like behind on the wall or like just hanging on the shelf, and I really like the look of art and plants together, especially because a lot of my art is plant adjacent, so I think it really just adds a cool vibe. And literally the moment that I filled this shelf with just some cute accessories and art, it just leveled it up so much. Out of all of the iterations of this shelf that I had, this is probably my favorite. I am loving the way it looks. Now, speaking of art, I wanted to put some pieces up here above my little desk area. However, I tried making like a little gallery wall similar to the one that I had in my old place above my couch. But I don't know, I feel like this over here is already so busy. So what I'm thinking above the desk area is just like one large piece of art. I think that would look really, really good. Or honestly, even no art at all. I do sometimes feel the compulsive need to fill every single blank wall or blank space, but sometimes having blank walls and negative space is actually beneficial to your design. But I am a bit of a maximalist at heart, so I do think I will end up putting a piece up here, but I think it needs to be like a really nice big one, just like something like, I have been also thinking about maybe some shelves, but I don't know what I would put here, and honestly, I am scared of drilling into these walls. My landlord did say that I can drill, but this is a very old building and the walls are made out of like brick and metal and stuff, so I am a little bit scared, but maybe like one day. Maybe one day I will try and see if it works, but I don't think I want a shelf on this wall. I think I would prefer a shelving unit on this wall. And I did see a really cute black one that is quite shallow, which I really like. So I think that would look really great above the TV, and like maybe put some books and like maybe like a cascading plant or something like that. But as of right now, I'm just gonna keep this wall probably blank. I did hang some art over here, and I might put like I would love to find a big, long piece, but I don't know where to find those. But I think something like that would look really cool over here. Also, you may notice there is a grow light over here. This is the Claria grow light from GrowGang. I bought this recently and I have been loving it. It is a really, really strong grow light, and I do have my Monstera Thai constellation beneath it. My initial idea for this corner was to actually put my bird of paradise over here because I think she would really fill up this space a lot better. And I still think that the bird of paradise would look a lot better than the Thai constellation in this corner. However, my issue is that I know that once this plant gets going, it will grow like a beast. And I'm trying to be a lot more smarter with my plant purchases and plant placing, and I want to create areas for my plants where they can live long term instead of just like a couple of months and then me having to figure out a new space for them. Originally, I thought about putting this plant on like the top shelf of the Vitcho shelf and then like putting the Barina lights on the ceiling like I mentioned. However, I feel like although the ceilings are high, it would still outgrow that space rather quickly. I think it will look really, really good in this corner once it actually starts growing or once it sizes up, especially under that grow light that's really, really strong. I think it will look good. So I think for now, I'm not gonna bring my bird of paradise with me, which is a little bit unfortunate because I do really like that plant, but I do have to be very mindful when it comes to large plants because I do have a lot of small plants, but those small plants are gonna grow and get bigger. So I need to be careful. But I still love the Monstera Thai constellation. Y'all know that this is a very sentimental plant to me. It was a gift from a dear friend of mine. I did restart this plant recently, so right now it's kind of going through a rehab situation. I planted it in semi-hydro and then it promptly rotted, and then I had to restart it, and now it is regrowing again in semi-hydro, and hopefully second time's the charm. I also really like this little area under my TV console because I can just put some of my books in here, and I feel like just adding the books and the plants and the art already elevated this space so much, and it just added so much of who I am, my character. I'm also excited to get more books and just size up my book collection as well. So that's why I think a shelf above the TV would look really, really great, because I would be able to put even more books on there. And I really want this apartment to just be full of color, life, plants, art, books, like fun lamps, and just really represent my personality, which is fun, bubbly, creative. That's the vibe that I want for this place. Now this area over here is a little bit harder to show because it is tucked behind the desk, but I took my green calyx unit with me as well. If you remember, again, in the old place, I had it vertically, but in this space, I felt it would look amazing as like a horizontal little console unit alongside the table. I think like the colors in here just mesh so well. This kind of like reddish table, and then the black shelf, and then just this green, and obviously the green with the plants really works well. And I just have some more of my my books over here, some like accessories, some art, my donut lamp. Now this is not finished, but as of right now, this is how things are looking, and I do want to buy a stand for this thing just to get it lifted from the ground so I can clean easier, and also so it can be higher than the table. I think that will make it a lot more impactful. And then, like I mentioned in my apartment tour, I really want like a big piece of art above here. I think that would look really, really great. And also I have been thinking of maybe installing another pendant grow light either in this corner or above this plant. This is my Mag Lux hybrid, and she is massive. I had to chop a lot of her leaves off during the move. I honestly thought about stumping her completely, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But she is here right now because she's huge, and I don't know where to put her. I don't know if she's gonna get enough light over here. This is like a very low light spot. Obviously, she's not under any grow light, and she's very far away from the window. But anthuriums are generally lower light plants, so maybe it could do well here. And also, I'm not interested in having this plant be giant. Now, the final, and I would say arguably most impactful change that I did in this space is changed out the ceiling light, because before there used to be one of those like metal chrome 3 bulb situations, which I did not like. It did not fit my aesthetic. It did not fit this space. So I ordered this giant linen pendant shade, again from Zara Home. It wasn't expensive, and I really actually like the fact that this is linen instead of paper. Now, is this the best quality shade you have ever seen in your life? Absolutely not. But I really love the way that it looks in this space. I think it works very well in this space, especially because a lot of the big furniture pieces are rectangular and boxy. So I think just like this big globe really adds something different. It adds a softness, and I really love the way that this looks at night. And it's literally perfect for like hosting and having a dinner. I already hosted a couple of dinners with some of my friends here, and the ambiance was delicious. And I have another Philips Hue bulb in this lamp. And man, I love those Philips Hue bulbs. They're expensive, they're extremely expensive, but in my opinion, worth it. I actually have a pretty interesting design idea, but I'm not sure if it will work or not. So I would actually love to hear your opinion on this topic, whether you think this would look good or not. But basically, my idea is to put curtains on this wall and on the other side on the opposite wall, because obviously there is the window over here and I have some lovely sheer curtains over here, but I feel like this section is just kind of awkward. It's just a blank wall, and I did put up a tiny little piece of art over there. Obviously the art here should be a lot bigger, but I just used what I had and I used the nail that was already here. But I think adding like kind of a thicker curtain, but a lighter curtain on this wall would create the illusion that the windows extend all the way to the end of the room, which I think would look really impactful, and it would add some extra soundproofing and some extra softness to the room. And what I have been thinking is getting some curtains that have some vertical stripes on them. I wasn't able to find any that I liked thus far, but I'm sure they exist out there. If nothing else, I'm sure there are some on Etsy. But I think that would really just lengthen this space even more and make it look even larger and grander than it already is. So I am toying with that idea, and I think it will look really good, but I'm not sure. So I need your help. Let me know in the comments whether you think that this is a good idea or not, whether you would do it or if you would skip it. And again, if you have any other design ideas for this space, I am more than open to hear your suggestions. I still haven't done anything with the kitchen thus far. She looking kind of ugly, but we'll get to her. Honestly, one step at a time. Designing is a marathon, not a race. Also, speaking of races, I just have to quickly mention how much I love running here. Y'all know that I love running. I am a full-on running girly. I was kind of scared of running in a new city, in a bigger city, in a more busy city, and I live in a very urban area, lots of cars, lots of traffic, lots of people, not a lot of like green areas. So I was kind of anxious about my running experience suffering, but honestly, it has been the complete opposite. I have been loving going on my runs because I have so many amazing running trails and areas over here. I can literally go to a brand new area every single day, and I just love running and kind of getting lost in all of the tiny streets and nooks and crannies, and it's just such a fun experience. This morning I went on literally such a lovely walk, like next to a big river. It was absolutely amazing. The sun was shining and I had a really great time. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. That is it for the updates. I am really loving how this space is turning out. I am loving this apartment. I also got completely used to all of the traffic and all of the noise, and I'm able to sleep properly, which thank God. So I'm happy to report that as well. And I feel like my life is just really, I feel like I'm just in such a good place right now. My anxiety, my depression, all of these issues that I used to struggle with for years are at an all-time low. And I really feel just amazing. This is exactly what I needed. And I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to rent this place, to have this amazing community around me, both in real life and online, and obviously having just the means to decorate my space and make it my own. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below, and I look forward to hearing from you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye!